Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning. How are you, Panayota?
I'm doing great, Spiros. And for the rest of us watching us, we're here with my colleague Spiros Giannatos, doing a small recording, sharing our thoughts with you in English, since usually
In
our
English.
content is in Greek.
Yeah. We were talking with Panayota before, and she was telling me that she actually took a day off and dedicated that day completely to herself. And I really like the idea. I've done that before. I have not done it recently. So when she talked about it, there was some kind of sparks inside me. Would you like to share more about how you spend your day, so you can inspire more of us?
Great. Thank you so much, Spiro. I was also thinking that I was thinking about this special day off for myself the same way as you described. Like I was also not considering having not a day, a complete day, but just a few hours just to do things that give me joy. So a few days ago, I am practicing intuitive drawing. So I did an activity which actually a type of expressive arts workshop. So I can
Hmm.
see that. So the idea was to draw anything in hearts. So it's a symbol of love. Anything that I love about my life. And I started off drawing small hearts, saying that I love the smell of coffee every morning,
Hmm.
or I love my Wednesdays when I chat with Spiros, or I love my moussaka, my favorite food, for example. And then as I was thinking about all the things I love about my life, myself, my qualities, um, it's something really shifted because I was focusing on how I was feeling and I was cultivating the feeling of love towards myself and my life.
Yeah.
So after doing this activity, sorry, so after doing this activity, I decided to give a day to myself as a gift where I would design my perfect day and do all the things that give me joy and I usually postponed due to other life um, busy life priorities. So
Hmm.
I sat down and I said, okay, so what gives me joy? How I want to spend my ideal morning. And I wrote down my perfect day. I put a day on it. I took a day off from work, rescheduled all my meetings, and I wrote down my paper that in the morning I wanted to go for a long walk in the park, sit down on the grass and have my coffee, do my art journaling practice. And then at noon, I wrote down I want to take a nap. I want to eat a fresh salad with lots of avocados, to read a book. In the afternoon, I said I promised to myself that I would spend some time to draw and then play with the tarot deck I have, like the intuition cards. And then at night, it was Friday. Every Friday, I attend a yoga nidra session where it's
Hmm.
actually consciously sleeping and meditating. So it was a perfect night. And then I said to myself, I will go to bed early without binge watching Netflix.
Wow. Did you actually do all this stuff?
I did all of those stuff and even
Hmm.
more. I listened to my favorite music. I had also a great company, my son, but he loves drawing and being in nature as well. So it was really a great day. And now that I reflect upon it, it's because I did it. Not only I planned it on paper,
Yeah.
but because I cultivated my emotions about this day and how I love myself, I prioritized it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I really like. I mean, you said so many amazing stuff, but I want to point out that it's not just planning, not just about thinking about it, but actually doing something. And the first thing you did is to actually take a day off from work to dedicate it to yourself. And as we were talking before, not about all the other chores and other things we have to do in our days. And I really like the fact that you spend your day in nature. I think it gives us something, right? I mean, during our work days, we sit in front of a computer, and and we just spend time doing some projects, some tasks, talking with people, but we don't really see any green, any trees, flowers, and especially this time of the year, which is everything so sunny and nice and fresh. Yeah, I think I really liked when you talked about this, and as I said before, I think I have not done it for a couple of months. I used to do it more and more, to spend time with for myself and dedicate the
Mhm.
whole day, most of the day, to myself. And I remember the last time that I did this was actually on my birthday, a couple of months ago, that I went to a park we have close here, and I just lie down on the grass. I recorded some thoughts I had. I took some notes, and I was just planning my next few days. And when I do this, I find it very relaxing, to be honest. So yeah, I sorry. I think I interrupted you. But yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts.
No, of course, please do. I didn't interrupt me. I'm thinking what you say. And I see that also that I was there in that loop and I'm still there. Although I took the day, I felt the emotions. I woke up at night feeling much more energized. I also believe that is something that I want to cultivate in a more consistent basis. And especially for us being parents, it's important to teach our kids how to savor the moments, allocate time for what gives us joy or makes be in the flow, and not
Hmm.
only to teach our kids how to execute well or how to, perform all day
Yeah.
long. They're doing a lot of these days with the kids.
Yeah, and I think when we dedicate time to ourselves, we also teach our kids something important, that, the self care. We have to do it. It's not about the other people all the time. It's about also prioritizing ourselves, because if we are not feeling well, then how can we be there for other people, for our, partners, for our kids, and so on. Yeah, yeah. I think I need to prioritize a day like that for myself very, very soon.
Yeah, and because I have this sensation, this feeling as well. I was thinking, if you want, you can join. You can join us. I was thinking, like at the end of the June, whoever will be around, because now summer is the season of relaxation and
Hmm.
pausing and reflecting. I think it's a great period for spending time looking at the trees in the park
Hmm.
and maybe doodling, like playing with art and speaking and envisioning about how we want to feel and how we want to live our summers or our lives to the fullest. So it's about to connect what with what matters to us, like emotionally, and then envision that. Imagine how it would be if I would give the time of myself, like to myself, for a day off, for a date with myself. And when I do that, to
Yeah, to
celebrate that I
celebrate.
did it.
Yeah. You know, that's everything very interesting. And I think a lot of people are thinking to do it, but usually we just caught ourselves up with everyday life. So I'm just wondering, what did you have to overcome, like in your mind, and like what kind of feelings to overcome and say, okay, no, I'm just focusing on myself today. It's just for me. So were there any thoughts or feelings to hold you back from actually dedicating this day for that day for yourself?
Oh my God, many thoughts and many feelings, because mainly I am a rational person. I like to think through things, plan, organize. And I noticed that ever since I started working as an embodiment coach, where I learned how to tune in to my feelings, to my sensations, to my needs, like as a body and a person, I realized that I was overly focusing on the thinking brain part of myself
Hmm,
and had the tendency to sometimes disconnect from how I feel.
I see. Hmm.
So the shift happened when I was drawing the hearts, and I was thinking, of course, that I enjoy the smell of coffee in the morning, but I was bringing also my imagination and how I love the feeling of drinking my coffee in the balcony, for example, every morning. So I allowed beats of emotions. So this kind of emotions, they multiplied all these hearts. And but by the end of the day, I was feeling so alive and so myself and grateful for all the things I love about my life and myself. That this helped me prioritize and stick to the plan of having the perfect day for myself, because I was connected with how I was feeling,
Hmm.
and I wanted to give that gift. So I think the fusion of thinking mind and feeling mind is what helped me, and I see that a lot in my work with other people. But it's not easy because we tend to rationalize things. So, in my perspective, using art is
Hmm.
a perfect way to unlock, because when
Yeah.
you're drawing, you're unlocking also your subconscious, and you're communicating with other parts of ourselves, meaning the emotional and the instinctual, much easier.
Hmm. Yeah. 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 Because I'm thinking, yeah, the logical part of the brain is just okay. I have to do this. I have to cook. I have to do this task. I have to do that chore. I have to wash dishes, and so on and so on. But when we connect through arts, which I love, I'm a very creative person. When we connect through arts to the more creative part of ourselves, somehow we integrate the emotional part and this creative part inside us, and then it actually helps us to think outside of the not of the box, outside of the routine, and
Mm,
realize that it's important to actually do the things we love. Yeah, because basically what I find very very hard is to I find very hard to dedicate time for myself, because there is this long list of to do, this all these items that I have to do, and then when I just see them on a list, then I'm just frustrated. I cannot really find the time, even logically, to dedicate for myself. But I've realized, as you said, when I draw, when I play music, when I do something more creative, I just relax myself somehow. Something happens, something magical happens inside me, and then I'm more in tune with life, and then everything seems kind of brighter.
easier,
it's
brighter, yes.
yeah, yeah.
So tell me, Spiro, when you are in this energy, when you're in your creative state and it feels more bright for life, how do you approach the chore of washing the dishes?
Well, first of all, it's not that I'm eager to do it, but even when I do it, I do it with more um, more presence.
Mm,
I'm there. I'm just
yeah.
enjoying it a little bit more instead of thinking, oh my God, what kind of why I have to do that now, and should I leave it for later or not now? I'm just present. I'm just doing the dishes and I'm present. And then after that, I feel more relaxed. Even doing the dishes can be relaxing.
So what changed? The dishes are still the same. They're still
Oh
dirty
yeah,
dishes, right?
yeah,
But what
yeah, yeah.
shifted was your perspective about being in the flow.
What changed is my emotion about it, and then the
Hmm.
perspective about it. Yeah, well, I'm not quite sure what changes first, the emotion or the perspective, maybe both on the same time, but something shifted inside me. And then the outside look different. It does not look like a chore. It does not look like something I have to do. It's something that, obviously I need to do, and I'm okay with this. So it's interesting how creativity and being in flow with life and being present and dedicate time with for yourself creates a different sphere around us that allow us to be more joyful, more happy, I guess, in life. Interesting. I'm aware of the time, so how about if we start closing this and
Hmm.
perhaps provide a tool or something to people who listen to us to go more into this flow or be able to dedicate some time for themselves to go into that sphere that we were talking before.
Yeah. Like a quick practice, like a mini practice, would be to spend some time and grab like a marker or anything that has your favorite color and doodle hearts, circles, anything that you feel like doodling, connecting with what you love
Hmm.
and about your life. And let this spark ignite. So bring the feeling element and say, maybe I don't have a day for myself, but I can plan what they call a staycation, the vacation at home, where I will give them 3 hours a morning to myself and do the things I enjoy and be with that feeling of enjoyment. And
Hmm.
then celebrate that, share it with someone else. I used to celebrate by myself, but you can't celebrate on your own.
Yeah, not all the
Celebration
time.
is about share, celebrate,
Hmm.
celebrate yourself and the things that give you joy.
Hmm. Yeah. So you start with drawing some hearts or something that comes from inside. And I also wanted to mention something creative, but as
Hmm.
since you already did it, I'm going to say something else. But what I want to say about creativity is that it's not a competition. It does not, because a lot of people say I'm not really good in drawing. Well, I'm not either, but I really like putting the pen and colors on the paper and just see what emerges out of it. And it does not have to be good. It's not a competition. It's just more an inside out expression of ourselves. So, having said that, what I would like also to add now that we're closing is that something that really helps me become more connected with life is to keep a gratitude journal. To
Mm.
remember, and that came from the start when you said something about the smell of the coffee in the morning. It's about the small things. It's not always life is not always about the big successes and amazing stuff. It's about the small things that happen day by day. Every day. So smelling the morning coffee, going for a walk in a park. So keeping a gratitude journal about these small things, I found it very, very beneficial. But I'm not stopping just, okay, the smell of the coffee. I'm also writing why this is important for me, why I'm feeling
Hmm.
grateful for this. So yeah, that could be something that that actually takes like 5 minutes every day. So there's no excuse there. If we don't have 5 minutes in each day, then we don't really have a life. That's my philosophy. But yeah, spending some time creating something, as you said, drawing something, but also realizing and being grateful of these things that we actually do every day, and sometimes feel like a chore, even washing the dishes.
That's so beautifully said. Thank you, Spiro. All these practices, we do have one thing in common: to take a moment to feel,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
feelings inspire, change the physiology in the body, and inspire new thoughts, and new thoughts potentially new behaviors, especially when these are connected with these feelings.
Yeah. And when we feel low, that's a great way to kind of energize and motivate ourselves and change the emotional and the perspective, as you said. And then we can see life differently, and then we are more able to actually take an action.
I'm gonna wash the dishes later today, Spiro, and I will be thinking about this discussion. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna do the same. Thank you, Panayota, too. It was really interesting and inspiring to talk about this today, this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.